to Matchday Live here on LUTV, where it's the final game before the international break and the team are in the capital to take on QPR. You can watch today's game on LUTV outside the UK and Ireland. Just head to the LUTV website and buy your pass now. All the build-up to come before our live coverage of the game begins, and we're joined by Michael Bridges and Jermaine Beckford for this one. Jermaine looking very summery. We admire that, but Bridgie wearing his lucky jacket that you had on midweek.
Yes, I've changed the T-shirt, you'll be pleased to know, underneath, but I've gone for the same. So look, it's coming in handy, you know.
Fingers crossed. You've got to wear that now, Bridgie,
the amount of fans that love this.
Oh, it's great.
I love it.
And it really suits you, so thank you for wearing it again.
But he's a man of style, isn't he?
He's just hoping for summer to be here soon, aren't you, Bex? I think that's what it is.
I am. Do you know, I'm just chasing the sunshine. That's all it is. I'm trying to bring the sunshine with me wherever I go.
From Del Monte, you see?
Yeah.
Right, let's talk football, shall we? Bridgie, obviously with it being the final game before the break, does that bring extra significance, do you think, to today's game?
Yeah, you've got to, because then you know you can go away and refresh. Some of the boys will be on national duty, some won't be. And, you know, you get time to recover, get the body ready for that final run. So no more incentive needed than to go there, get this result, and then know that you can just have a little relaxer or get that body, because the games have come thick and fast. Plus this game, Emma, is the early kick-off after a late result on the Wednesday night. QPR have had 24 hours more recovery. Daniel Farke alluded to it. He said we are our worst enemies because everybody wants to watch Leeds, hence why we get on the big matches and the early kick-off. So, yeah, the lads have got to go and put on a performance.
You're right, it is really intense though, isn't it, Bridgie? We played before our rivals this weekend, Bex, which is a flip from last weekend. Is there any extra pressure because of that?
No, I would say the opposite. We're not actually watching the other teams, seeing what they've been able to do and achieve, whether it's a win or a draw, picking up points, closing the gap on us. We actually get to go out and really focus on what we're going to do today and focus on being the best that we could possibly be, without the added pressure of, right, if Sheffield United or if Burnley won, we're going to have to win. We obviously, we know we have to win the game. We have to play well. We have to do all the things that Daniel Farke has done over the course of the couple of days that he's had the boys training. They've got to make sure that they just focus on that. And we know what our record's like down in London, especially at QPR as well, Loftus Road, and try and forget everything that has happened in the past, because there's a reason why we are where we are now and they are where they are. So we've just got to remember that, play well.
Affect you when you played the bogey teams, you knew it, didn't
you?
Yeah.
You go into each game and you're almost like, oh man, the last time we were here, we battered them, but they beat us by a goal. You've been there.
In the back of your mind, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Does it stay in the back of your mind though, or when you're out there, do you rid yourself of that?
Game, yes, and you see the lads are focused there going in. And you're thinking about once you go over that white line, whether it's the warm up or the game kick off, you know that all goes to bed. But you always talk and go, we've got to do these. We owe them. You know, look what happened last time.
Well, QPR have won 5 of the last 6 home league games against us. So like you say, it feels like they are a bit of a bogey team, but you have to get out of your own head and forget about that, don't you, Bex, going into
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. And Daniel Farke's, one of the things that I really appreciate and enjoy about Daniel Farke, he takes the pressure off of the players, but he also gets them to believe in themselves as well. Forget about what the opposition do. Forget about the last 4 games that they've not won. Forget about all of the London hoodoo, etc., etc., and just think about what we've seen from this Leeds United team, from this group of players, how well they've performed throughout the majority of the season. We've had a couple of games where we've had we've had a couple of games where we've had a blip, a little bit of a slip up, where 1 or 2 players haven't quite performed the way that we expected them to or anticipated them to. Those 3, 4, 5 games this season, we could put them to one side. And as Bridgie said there, let them do the worrying. Yeah. Because there's a reason we're top of the league. We're the best team in the league because Daniel Farke gets the boys to focus and knuckle down and forget all the outside and external noise. Concentrate on just being here in the moment.
And you're right, Bex, you know, those under-par performances, the very few that we've seen, we've bounced back very quickly from those and had great results. Just on that, I know you say QPR losing their last 4 doesn't matter either. Does it not matter, do you think, Bridgie? Or can it almost change their mindset and they're thinking, actually, we'll go harder today?
Depends what you're looking at, half empty or half full, the glass. So I think if for QPR, it would definitely be affecting me as a player, because we've lost the last 4. You've got to get back on track. They're still, I think I was chatting to you the other night, Emma, after the last home game. I was saying that, you know, they're probably in holiday mode. When I went back and had a look and studied it, they're only 9 above relegation and they're 12 off from the playoffs. So there's still a lot for them to play for. When I was thinking that they were just going to go to sleep, and when they look back at them 4 games they've lost, that'll be playing on their mind. But like you say, at home and against Leeds United, they're going, oh, hang on, this is a team where we get an advantage. We've got the home tie coming. They've had less 24 hours, so they'll be very positive going into this one.
Do you know what also, sorry, just to touch on something you said there. The last 4 games they've lost, they've been in every single one of those games.
1 goal either way, isn't it?
1 goal either way, but possession-wise, they've dominated. They've had more shots than all the other oppositions, with exception to the last game where they had maybe 2 or 3 less. But they've been in every game. So they've lost all 4, but it's not going to be a walkover.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy ride.
They're not good against teams above them either.
No, they're not.
That's the thing. I think it was Borough beat them, West
2-1,
Brom and Sheffield United.
So there's hope.
So there's loads of hope, man. We're going to go and get rid of that
We're
doo-doo.
glass half full, aren't we, Bridgie?
Yes, we are.
Right, let's get the thoughts of one of today's starting 11, shall we? Here's Manor Solomon.
Well, Manor, another early start, another important game. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Yeah, I think we recovered after the game that we had this week, and we're fully motivated to come here and to win this game. So we want to make sure that we go off to the break with 3 points.
You weren't here at the time, but Leeds didn't have a good evening here last season. Is there a sense in the group that you want to make sure this one goes well?
Yeah, I've heard. I wasn't here, but I know what happened, and then we lost here. So as I said, we want to make sure that today we win this game and we take the 3 points. I think it's the most important thing for today.
It's been, as you said, a really busy week. You've had 3 games to play. Is everybody ready for the battle for this one, the last one of the 3?
Yeah, it's been a long week, but we did everything that we could in order to recover well and to be prepared for this game. Everyone, the medical team, the performance team, the staff, the coaching staff, they made sure that we are capable to come here and to win this game and to be fully fit and ready. So we want to show it today.
We heard Manor talking there about, the quick turnaround and getting straight back on it. As fans, you were just saying before, Bridgie, we had a late night midweek and then it's an early start today. Does that affect you as a player as much as it does the fans looking at it going, this seems a bit unfair?
Well, it did for me because I couldn't even play with the 7-game rest in between. I was always blooming injured.
Bridgie.
So, like a 3-day turnaround, that's my biggest nightmare. But what I think we touched on the other night was Daniel Farke's team behind the team. And it's the staff. And, Solomon there has just alluded to it because he says, we've been watching what we've been eating, the recovery, the ice baths, everything goes into this because they know how important it is. And what I love about this team, they've embraced it. I've been in a couple of teams where you're going, we've got to do recovery. And the negativity and the toxic environment spreads. You need leaders in the dressing room to implicate that and to follow the direction of the staff, because if you get 1 or 2 bad eggs that go away and they're not in the squad and they try to disrupt it, it can spread. I love the culture that we've got, and I think what he's mentioned there is invaluable.
And that you're right, Bridgie, all the processes will have been put in place to make sure that they're all fit and well for today. I mean, the team remains unchanged, so that says it all, doesn't it, Bex?
Yeah, it does. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised by that as well, especially when you look at the boys that we got on the bench as well, especially like the 2 wide players. We know they're like for like, so you're not exactly going to lose any quality bringing those players on or changing those players. However, I'm not going to second guess Daniel Farke. I'm not going to doubt what this man knows and what he does, because he's been there. He's been there. He's done it. He was promoted twice as champions with Norwich. He knows how to deal with the pressure. He knows how to handle the pressure. He knows how to handle expectations, and the guy knows his stuff, doesn't he?
I also think he wouldn't be starting the players if he didn't feel that they were...
Exactly.
But it comes down, there's a lot of things. I was trying to explain to some fans that when you see a player come off at a certain time in the game, they might be having an incredible game, but what you don't get to see as fans and as the reason behind that bringing off. So he's got his staff there for a reason, monitoring all the heart rates, monitoring the GPS, what they're doing. As soon as your sprint recoveries go down and you're prone to injury, that's when the staff have got to say to Daniel Farke, listen, by the way, DJ is struggling a little bit with this situation, you might have to bring him off. I've done my work, I've passed that information to the manager. The manager then has a decision to make. Do I take the staff's advice and take him off to protect him? Or if the ball falls to DJ in the penalty area and he has a snapshot and he scores a goal for us, they're game-changing moments. Yeah. So the staff have got to do that. Now, if the player goes down injured before Daniel's got the information, then the white flag comes, he says, you didn't tell us that there was something in there. If it's not a tackle, like if it's a strain. Yeah. So there's a lot goes into it, why players get brought off at certain times, and what the madness is behind it. The method, sorry, not the madness, the method.
Let's have a look back at that midweek performance, shall we? Because you and I were on this sofa together, Bridgie, enjoying it. It was brilliant. I mean, there were times where it felt a little bit flat, but in terms of bouncing back from that defeat against Portsmouth, it was perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. Like I said, we need to score an early goal. I didn't care how it came about. And obviously, when we got in this area here, the little deflection off Cooper that goes past Aaronson from Solomon's cross, they're the kind of lucky moments in the breaks that we got and we needed in that first half. And then, like you say, it was a bit of a to the rest of that half time. Second half, the lads came out with a completely different mindset and a different performance. And, you know, absolutely, Millwall offered nothing. So I really thought the second half performance was fantastic. And they controlled the game.
A lot of that is down to the far superior fitness levels that we've got as well. We've seen the longer the game goes on, the fitter we get, whereas opposition teams, opposition players start to flag.
And then they lose focus.
And they lose focus. And when they lose focus, when you don't have the ball, it's so hard to maintain a certain level of energy and fitness. When you've got the ball, you enjoy playing. And the fitness side of it just comes second nature. It's a piece of cake.
Bridie was sitting alongside us that evening, and she mentioned she was looking forward to the midfield battle. And I thought it was fantastic. The two players, we're going to see Tanaka's goal here. That was just some top-class finish.
It's perfect timing as well.
Yeah, you knew the game was done and dusted then. But him and Rothwell completely controlled that midfield that Bridie was on about. And, you know, that I think when you control that midfield with them two players, Rothwell gives us something different to everybody else in this team with his distribution, his set plays. And obviously, the first goal that he led to, he drives with the ball forward. So she got it absolutely spot on. And the performance, the two lads in that midfield dominated.
There were times, though, Bex, where it felt a little bit edgier than what we used to. Do you think for the running, we can expect that a little bit? Does it get a little bit more tense?
The longer the season goes on, the more, in a nutshell, yes. But that's only because we're getting closer to the summit where we expect we should finish up and where we're hoping that we will finish up. That comes with pressure. Expectation comes with pressure. And I mentioned it before about the way Daniel Farke handles the boys and handles the pressure at the club. Keeps everything in-house. He tends to shoulder a lot of the pressure, a lot of the expectation. So the boys go out there and they can express themselves and play the type of football that we as football fans get to enjoy.
You played under a gaffer before, that shows the pressure and you sense it as a player.
Yeah. Because especially, I'm not going to name names, but when you're on the team coach and the boys are on the back of the bus and we're having a laugh and a joke, there's music going on, and all of a sudden the manager turns around, keep it down. You kind of know, you get a feeling.
Same with you, Bex.
Yeah, I know.
I'm joking. Look, let's head
just
back
hit for a good time.
Keep it down, yeah. Let's head back over to Loftus Road and catch up with our commentary team for today, Bryn Law and Andy Cousins.
Well, the sun's out, but it is a little bit chilly here in West London. We are looking forward to another big game for Leeds United at Loftus Road. And now we're looking at the team to begin the proceedings. It's the same starting 11.
It is. It's good. I think Joe Rothwell was fantastic the other night against Millwall, so it doesn't surprise me. He's obviously recovered after his a little bit of a niggle with his knee when he came off, but I think Joe just gives a little bit more going forward. It's a nice tight pitch down at QPR like it was last week at Portsmouth, so we need a little bit more going forward, which I think Joe gives us. Let's hope we get the same result as what we got on Wednesday, because it's a huge game as this to put the pressure on everybody else.
That's the momentum that Leeds want to pick up, isn't it, from that Wednesday second half performance?
Absolutely, and we've got to keep this run going. We've got the international break after this, so all the recovery can come after that, but we get the 3 points today. We put the pressure on everybody else who's got to play either this afternoon or tomorrow. And it's all about handling that pressure. And today is one of them games where we really have to do that.
There's a few people probably a little bit anxious given what happened here last season. We're in London. It's a lunchtime kick-off. There are a number of factors, but do any of those things really have any proper bearing? Is it?
I don't think it will do for the players. I think for fans, we automatically think that, but I think for players, they'll get ready as normal. They'll come into the, they'll have come down last night. They'll have had the stay over. yes, you'd have to get up a little bit early to get your food down you, and get your pre-match down you and everything else. But look, the professional sports people, this is what happens with Leeds United. We play at dinner time a lot, so we must be getting used to it now. And let's hope that we can get the 3 points at the end of it.
Another big one, isn't it? The countdown's very much on now.
Absolutely. 9 games left. It's exciting, isn't it? It's what we want to be. It's where we want to be at the start of the season. We are there now. We've just got to take that pressure and let's get the 3 points today.
That's it. That's the message. Do the job here in West London.
Bridgie, I know we don't want to dwell on previous results against the opposition too much, but but we're gonna. But QPR have only lost 6 home games this season. Why is it such a challenge as a ground to go there?
Well, it's still got that old school mentality feel about it. There's not many grounds left like that where it's still on top of you. That is one of the places. Intimidating to go. I never used to go to West Ham's stadium near. That was close to you before they went to the Olympic. So it's got that thing about it, the fans are right on top of you. But again, like Bex has said, we're professionals. You've got to go and embrace it. And it's how you perform on the park. And you silence them early. And I think that's why we've got to get a good start, silence their fans. And then the possession stats suggest that they sit deep. They don't do high interceptions. They haven't got high possession. Then the stats that stand out is the long balls. So they're a percentage team rather than a possession team. They use the intimidation factor because they're very good from set plays. They've got good height. But they know what they're about. But when you're playing against the teams, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, Burnley, Leeds, that keep the ball, they don't get results because, like Bex was saying, they tire as well. So.
All that considered then, Bex, what do you expect their approach to be today? Very much the same.
A lot of what Bridgie said, they're sitting deep, trying to absorb as much pressure as possible, frustrate us as much as they can do. And as soon as they win the ball, percentage football, high and wide into the channels and squeeze the defenders up from the back. I can't see them trying to get the ball down and dominate.
The goals that they score, there's only 3. The striker who's got
7,
a decent amount of goals, and everybody else is on 2 and 1. So they don't score a lot of goals from around. I think Dunn, the right back, is obviously
he's
up
on
there.
5.
That's the set plays. He's got the 5 goals. So that's the set plays I come back to. But apart from that, nothing scares me. And today I've seen their lineup as well. Chair is out. And he's got assists. Attack midfielder sits in behind Fraser. So I'm hoping that it's going to be Anderson or Smith playing there. And that's one less threat that we've got to worry about as well, because it must be an injury that he's not playing.
Look, we spoke about it midweek, Bridgie, but away from home, how important is it, Bex, to strike the balance between starting fast and trying to get an early goal, but also being patient when you're away from home, at a ground like Loftus Road?
I just think if we start the game the way that we normally start games, we put them under pressure right from the first whistle, we cause them problems. And that's all we can do. We can only concentrate and we can only control what we're in possession of. And when we've got the ball, move it nice and quickly. We've said it so many times, haven't we?
I hope they have a goal, because with our press, we will destroy them.
We win the ball back so often high up the pitch.
They try and play off the seconds. They'll go long, try and play off the seconds, bullish tactics, and then when they get it, they'll try and play.
Right then, let's hear from the manager, Daniel Farker, now. He's been discussing becoming the fastest boss to reach 50 wins at a championship club.
What I can say is there is no injury concern, and more or less each and every player who was involved yesterday seems to be available, at least for the squad. Also for this game, we had a few problems with Isaac Schmidt for the last game. He felt unwell. That was the reason he was not involved in the squad. He was also back in training today. Could be also a topic for the squad as well. So as it stands, I hope that I have more or less the whole group who was available, plus Isaac Schmidt, to pick from for the traveling squad. In terms of who is then more or less in the starting lineup, obviously, and who is also recovered after this game, we make them late decisions. So this turnaround obviously is a bit more tricky than the last turnaround. So last time from Sunday lunchtime till Wednesday evening. Yes, we had more or less 80 hours to recover. That was enough. This time around, Wednesday evening till Saturday lunchtime, it's just over 60 hours. So it will be a bit more tricky. Also, traveling is involved, of course. So, we'll also take some objective data, so some recovery data anyhow, and also tomorrow. So I think we'll pick the starting lineup for this game. Very late tomorrow evening, or perhaps even on the morning of the game. So some really late decisions. I'm just happy for my players and my staff, because I also know, and I'm pretty grateful that I know I work for a club where it's perhaps a bit easier to achieve such an achievement than for a club who is just promoted from League One into the Championship, for example, and also fantastic players, fantastic staff to work with. And if you have excellent players and excellent staff, then it's even sometimes difficult. For the manager to mess it up. So for that, all my thank you is to the players and to the staff. They are excellent, and even I can't avoid the success sometimes. So for that, it's great that we are in a good position and that we won many points. But all the credit goes to my players and the staff. They're doing an excellent job.
I mean, as always, he's downplaying his achievements, but that is incredible to reach 50 wins so quickly, isn't it?
It's unbelievable, and he did it in 80-something games as well. I mean, that just shows the style, the confidence, the understanding of all the players that he has working with him and working for him, and the belief that everybody has in him as well. Like, he wouldn't be able to do that without the players that he's had on board over the last 2 years, 18 months. Sorry.
Speaking about that, remember one of the players was Junior Firpo. There was a lot of speculation: was he going to be involved? Was Daniel Farke going to keep him? The word behind the scenes when Danny was there that he absolutely wanted him fit, he wanted him back. He had the belief that he was going to play in the style that Daniel wanted. And we've seen that Firpo's assists, his goals, just magnificent. Both fullbacks are embracing what he's about as a manager. And teams are hating it because we've got the most touches from fullbacks in the opposition box. It's hard enough to get touches in the opposition box. So they've embraced it and they're loving it.
Yeah, and it just shows how wonderful it is and what a privilege it is to have someone like Daniel Farke with us. Let's have a quick look back, shall we, at that last game here at Elland Road against QPR, where we won 2-0. Kind of followed a similar script to a lot of games this season, an early goal and a late goal. But when we look at this, and also when we see other games against them, it's tended to end up a bit scrappy. So how important is it, Bex, that we retain control in today's game?
Well, if it's scrappy like we've just seen there, I'm quite happy for it to go ahead. Today it's all about controlling the game, not letting the occasion get to us, and not worrying about where we are. Doing the simple things really, really well. Look, every opportunity we get, every goal we've scored has been, the majority of, have been calm, in possession. There's not been anybody lashing at the ball. It's been precise almost. Just a lot of the same. The one that stands out for me, and seeing them 2 goals looking back, is what we mentioned, the amount of bodies that QPR have got inside their area. It's going to take something special from our players, somebody to unlock a door.
Well, look, Brendan Aaronson is confident that the team can complete the job this season. And our attacker spoke to LUTV this week and says the team are laser focused on maintaining their place at the top of the league.
Brendan, after Sunday's tough day at the office, a really good morale-boosting win on Wednesday against Millwall. How's the mood in the camp?
Yeah, it's great. It's been a lot of games this season where we've bounced back from not many losses, but the few that we've had, and I think that goes to show the team that we have. And I mean, you're always going to lose games in a season, but I think the way that we respond, the way that we get back, and just win the game like yesterday and have a complete performance. We didn't score that many goals, but I think just dominated the game entirely and could have had even more goals.
Touching on your own performance, you seemed to play with real freedom, created a couple of chances, you had some efforts. Do you feel like that was a chance for you to express yourself on that big stage? Yeah,
I think it's been frustrating the last 2-3 games because I haven't been able to see the ball that much in the game, just with the way the teams are playing and stuff like that. And I think I took it upon myself. I watched a lot of film. I talked to the coaches a ton. I just wanted to find a way to get back to where I was at my best all season, of getting on the ball, creating, making stuff happen, just being busy. And getting my goal because I haven't scored in a couple games now. So I want to get my goal or assist. And I think I did a lot of film. I worked a lot on it. And it felt good yesterday, really, to have that performance. But of course, I wanted that goal and assist yesterday. I didn't get it. But I was happy with the overall performance of myself and the team.
You mentioned the game against Queen's Park Rangers. It's been a tough place to go in recent years for Leeds, but a home win against them last time. So you must go there with some real confidence as well. Yeah,
100%. I think it's also like you go there and you know what to expect in a way. You know it's going to be a tough game, so you're mentally braced for it, and I think we're ready for it. And I think that gives you a little bit of like calmness, in a way. So I think that's the biggest thing for us. So I think going into it, we're we're knowing what we're going to have to do, what we're going to have to put into the game. Everybody's going to have to put in a shift, and I think we have a national team break after this, so everybody's just got to let it out on the pitch. And I think that when we let it out on the pitch, our quality will shine through and we'll have a great game.
You mentioned the international break. It's the final rest before that final push. How important is it to you as a group to be where you are now, top of the table, and everyone else try to catch you?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the position you always want to be in. I think it's a position that if you would say to us at the beginning of the year, this is the perfect spot to be in, it is. So I think we need to keep going like this. I think we have a lot of tough fixtures coming up, but we need to keep doing like we're doing. We've been amazing all season of getting results away from home, at home, and we got to keep like this and just continue to know, focusing, just knowing how hard these games are going to be.
We like that. We're all nodding in the studio. We like that. Look, it's 4 minutes to go until kickoff, so it's that time. Score prediction, Jermaine Beckford.
Oh, I fancy us winning the game relatively comfortably. I'm going to say 2-0.
Okay, 2-0 for Jermaine. What about you, Bridget?
I'm going to go one more. I'm going to say I'll go 3-1, and I'm going to say that man, Mr. USA there, Aaronson, on the score sheet.
I like it. So we're going 2-0, 3-1. OK, well, the teams are heading out of the tunnel down at Loftus Road. So we'll hand you over to your commentary team for this afternoon, Bryn Law and Andy Cousins.
Engaged in the game and make them the old cliche, the 12th man that can carry the team forward.
Welcome to West London, welcome to Loftus Road, the home of Queen's Park Rangers. The players are not quite out on the turf yet, but the anticipation levels are building here inside a well-filled stadium, and we have the Leeds United